This presentation is made possible by these amazing individuals and organizations. Whether it was through Patreon, Super Chats, Super Stickers, or by watching, liking, and commenting, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Hi guys, how are you this morning? I hope you're doing well. Boy, do I have a story for you. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I am actually doing this right now. This is actually happening. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Because some crazy stuff happened to me in the last like 48 hours. So let me first, before I start my story, um, I am going to see who's in the chat. Good morning, everybody. This morning, I have a lot of stuff to share with you guys, including what I watched, summing up The Mandalorian season 3, and just some final thoughts on that. Maybe not so final. Maybe I have more stuff, but and and talking about some things that are happening in the news and some things that I probably will be talking about next week because some interesting events are going to be happening within that time period. All right, let's see who's here. Unicorn Rampant Studio, hello, says, good morning, everyone. Hello, with the sunshine rising over the landscape. What a cool emoji there. And we have Lord Toth in the house. Says, hi, everyone. Well, hello to you, Lord Toth. I hope that you're doing very well today. Um, and then we have Hungry Jerk in the house. How are you doing, Hungry Jerk? How are you? Says, hi, RNG and everyone. Oh, wow. Yes, it's a good morning though. It's a good morning. Keith E says, "Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see you guys here." And so, Danny Staten is also here and says, "Greetings from South Carolina and greetings from Project Genesis. Right back at ya." And let's see. And he also says, hello, all. We've got everyone saying hi to each other in the chat. And look, oh my goodness, Teladea Plays is here. Hello, I haven't seen you, or I've seen you, but in other chats, but I haven't seen your videos. I don't know if it's coming up for me. Have you done any one recently? But otherwise, I hope you're doing well, and I'm so happy to see you here. Yeah, I really miss you. Haven't seen you in a while, so great seeing you. Um, and Keith E saying hello to everyone. And Sean Innes is here. Hello, Sean. How are you? How is your morning going? And oh my goodness, Brogu is here. Hello, Brogu. It's so good to see you, Brogu. Says, good morning to Retro Nerd Girl and everyone out there. Absolutely, Brogu, you're so cool. You're so cool. And Brogu says, "I told you I would subscribe." Well, that is absolutely one of the sweetest things. I appreciate that so much, and I can't tell you that your name makes me smile. So, yes, a wonderful, wonderful morning to you. Um, and Lord Toth says, I'm doing well, thank you. Same to you." Yes, I mean, it's just been a strange week, but I'm really enjoying today, that's for sure. Hungry Jerk says, no work today, just relaxing. Yes, let's do that. I like relaxing. And Danny Staten says, it's cloudy and raining here. Yeah, you know what? It's cloudy here too. It's not sunshiny, but I can't complain. Let's see what the temperature is. 39 degrees here. Not too bad. Not too bad. It reached into the 50, almost close to 50 yesterday, so can't complain too much. And Teladea Play says, yes, I have done content over the last 2 weeks. Okay, I'm gonna have to catch up. I'm gonna have to go to your channel directly. I don't know what's going on with my notifications, but I did see you on look, Movie Madness and Entertainment. I saw you on that channel, so I was like, I was like, is this only? And I was looking to see if maybe I could find you on the uh the comic. I forgot the name of that channel, but yeah, great to see you as usual. I again missed you. Teledia, both live streams and video formats. Okay, we're gonna look for it all. We're going to look for it. And Movie Madness and Entertainment is here. How are you doing this morning? Yes, I went to check out your channel recently, and it is very interesting. Lots of cool topics. We cover a lot of the similar topics from my morning show. Usually, my stuff is more retro, but for the morning show, we do a modern take mornings, and I'm loving it. Says hi to Tiladia. And yes, Comics League. Yes, I have. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have to check my notifications again and make sure that I'm getting the right stuff. Well, okay, so guys, my this morning I'm gonna show you what I've been working on. Let me see if I can get the slide up for you. Let's see. It's just going to take me a few moments. If you can indulge me for a few moments to find this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. I've been having a lot of problems with, um, there it is. Okay. I've been having quite a bit of problems with my computer. And so let me tell you the story. Um, was it Monday? I turned on my computer, this computer here, because this is the computer I use to stream with. I have another computer, but it's got so many programs on it that it is really difficult to hold the connection. So I I tried to turn this computer on, and it was completely blank, and it kept telling me that Windows needed to wasn't there was an error disk issue, and it just kept going and going for hours until I tried everything, and one of the options was to completely start over. And so that's what I had to do after trying every single option. And I had to I lost everything on the computer, which is very unfortunate. But I was able to um, reinstate this computer and get it functioning. And so I'm just like thrilled that it's working. So I'm so happy. I was panicking. I almost thought I wasn't going to be able to do a stream today. So I'm so glad it's working out. And Teladia Play says, oh, very interested to hear your thoughts on Mando season 3 and Power Rangers. Okay, yes, I'm gonna get into it right now, and talk about uh, those things. Let's add my little Power Brown, what I saw this week. I tried to organize it a little bit for you guys, so that there's some visual um things for you to take a look at. Okay, so Mandalorian season 3. I have been all over the internet talking about Mandalorian season 3 episodes and discussing them. I also have been doing it on this channel in the mornings. The thing with Mandalorian season 3, I actually enjoyed it, and I'm the kind of person who likes a lot of content that may not be the prime kind of content. I like a lot of guilty pleasures. I have a lot of guilty pleasures. Movies that have absolutely no reason for you to like them, but I adore them. I think that they're charming in their own way. So I was actually able to find something valuable from the season. There's definitely moments where I'm just like, yes, this is wonderful stuff. I'm enjoying this. And then there are moments where I'm scratching my head and like, say what? So what now? And I'll give you an example. One prime example, and everybody on the internet has mentioned this, is the rockets or the jet packs. Exactly how do they work, and why is it that in episode 2 they ran out of jet fuel, And in episode 8, they had more than enough jet fuel for yeah, forever and ever. It was just like you didn't even see them like stop and exchange jet fuel packs or anything like that. It's just kind of a weird, you know, situation when you take a look at some of the logistics and things, the details that just didn't fit in the story. My biggest problem though with the season 3, I enjoyed the action. The action was good. There was some moments that needed some tailoring. It was possibly even, you could say it was hastily put together. But or it looks like it was hastily put together. But, in light of like my situation that I was just explaining to you with like, I didn't even know I was going to be able to make it to the stream today. It was just crazy. Life happens and a lot of stuff could go wrong behind the scenes. So I don't know what was going on behind the scenes to make some of the things just like not perform as well as they should have, or look good, or appear in a better light. I'm trying to be very kind here because I can see that some people are pouring their heart into this season, and there are moments of brilliance where I'm like, yes, that's awesome. And then there are just moments where it's just like I don't care, or I don't have time to make this look good. And it's really kind of sad. It's sad, 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 sad. And let me see what you guys have to say. Sean says, lazy writing, cheap plot device, running out of fuel. Yes, that's not that's not cool, dudes. That first of all, I'll just say first of all about episode, what is it? What was it? Episode 2? No, I'm sorry. I think that was episode 3. Sorry about that. Is that episode 3 or 4? I don't even know. That episode was so terrible. As far as uh the I would edit out that entire, like, all of that. Like, for that, I think it was episode 4. I may be getting my episodes wrong. Episode 4. Uh, w- they're flying to get the pterodactyl, right? And I would have just edited them flying with the pterodactyl at the end where they chase down the pterodactyl and attack it. I would have just continued it on to that point and just totally left out all of that other stuff. You didn't really need it. You didn't need it. You didn't need them to sleep overnight and wait, and none of that makes sense. So there's like, we could get into it. There's like, this is just one drop in the bucket, though, because there were so many moments like that. Otherwise, fun scene. It was fun. There were, it was fun. But again, uh, just terrible plot devices, and just finding themselves writing some pretty weird and awkward dialogue as well. One of the main, I think those things you could probably forgive, but one of the things that I had a big problem was the character development, especially for Din. Just because we met him in episodes, in seasons 1 and 2, doesn't mean that we shouldn't have more dialogue from him in season 3. And so I really felt it would have benefited the character, because we're talking about characters that are in masks, and we need some dialogue from them to express how they're feeling, and to give us more of a sense of what the connection is to these characters. Why is Bo-Katan and Din stuck to each other like glue this entire season. That's not explained. Are they attracted to each other? Do they hate each other? What is really happening in that relationship? It it's just they're together. It's just sort of kind of a weird thing that happens in the season. But if we had some dialogue to stick, the dialogue can really glue this whole thing together, right? It can really put it all together. So even like a bit of dialogue, like I didn't, when let's go back to the rockets, right? And get the rockets, they ran out of fuel. A simple dialogue like, "Hey, we didn't prepare enough fuel for this chase, right? I didn't fill up on fuel. Or we didn't expect we were gonna be using our backpack, so we didn't fill it to the full capacity." Something like that. It's like what was that, like 2 lines maybe? Uh maybe 7 words. It's just like we could the dialogue could actually glue this sucker back together again. But right now, a lot of it was fragmented. And so that takes a lot of the joy away from everyone enjoying this, right? Everyone can't really enjoy this because it isn't. And again, Sean is not off here. Lazy writing, cheap plot device, running out of river. I don't like talking like that. I know a lot of people really care about their work and really put a lot of energy into this, but I we've got to find a way to be able um to communicate. That's all this is. This is about communication. And the writers did not communicate to the audience what it needed to know about these characters and the plot, right? And so Dad's Den of Pop Culture, hello. Sounds like there's also some meddling by the corporate suits. It could be, yeah. I've been hearing a lot of rumors, and I'm not sure if that's true or if that's part of a rumor, but it doesn't feel as if one singular voice is writing this. Like I said, there's someone who's writing brilliantly, and you can feel that whenever there's a moment in the season where it's like, wow, this is great stuff. Then you get um like the intern writing like, okay, how do we fill in this scene? Oh, we've got the main plot points. How do we fill in the scene? And they left it to like the intern to fill in the blanks. Sorry, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I don't want to say, you know, that it's bad, but it wasn't. It's not the master writing, a master class writer, if you will, that is coming. Somebody's coming up with the idea, the big idea, but the middle ground is where they're losing it. They're losing the audience with the middle ground. I'm trying to say it as nicely as possible without being rude or insulting people. And maybe it's too late. But I tried. I tried. Brogu says it would have been nice if the Mandalorian episodes were a little longer and more than 8. That would have developed the story a little better. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no reason on planet Earth why these episodes were so short. They were so short, and I was like, why are we like flipping the channel so quickly on this? And we're not like sticking to the story plots. Like, for instance, um, after Bo-Katan's ancestral home gets blown up, right? Which we are never told the reason why that was done or who did it. Never. Now, the assumption is that, oh, that was, that was Moff Gideon doing that. Great. But he never said that. So it could have been somebody else. Just saying, as somebody, I'm just saying it could have been somebody else, but it's probably him. We need that. And why? Why did he do that? Why did he do that? And then we don't hear about the ancestral home ever again. We never, like, that is her home. It's not just her home, it's her ancestral home. She should be pissed about that. Like generations of her family is like, it's like the heirloom is gone. Like that should we don't get that emotion from her. We get a lot of stoicism from her, and we get a lot of but we don't get any dialogue about what it feels like to now be in a position where you have to go hang out with these guys you don't really like that much because you don't have anywhere to go. Like we didn't feel that vulnerability. We didn't understand what she was going through. And then how long were they together? Did all of this happen in the span of like a day or two, or was it months? Like there's no way of knowing any of this. It's ambiguous, right? And that makes a big difference if you're hanging out with somebody for a couple of days or if you're hanging out with them for like a year. There's going to be a difference, and you're going to have a different understanding of who they are. That was some of the detail that I was craving from this that could have been put into the storyline to fully flesh out these characters, because right now they're hollow, very hollow. And I hope moving forward, if there's a season 4, and there should be a season 4 if they're going to do this intense movie that they're planning, that they're going to really consider filling out the character development and not leaving it up to the action to help connect the characters to the audience. And Sean Ennis says, when they search for Paz, yeah, when they search for pests, it was horrible. It's just, it's laughable. It's laughable. That's where I'm having a lot of fun at it. Sometimes I'm laughing at it, and it's like I shouldn't be laughing at a Star Wars Disney production, unless you were, specifically adding jokes in for me. And Keith E says, "What are the odds that they watch this live chat at the studio?" Just thinking. I don't know. I don't know what they see or how they think fans are. I hope that they get to hear what the fans think, and try to make some adjustments moving forward. But I don't know. I just don't see them really making many changes. And Sean says Din took a major backseat in season 3, and he did. He did. He took a very big back seat. Um, and here's my other. They made room for like this. It's like um I just don't know how I feel about this. You know what though? Here's the thing. This episode itself, I wouldn't mind it like if you had the season was like 22 episodes, or even if it was 12 episodes, and this was totally fine, right? Because eventually it's going to work itself out. We were desperately trying to figure out whether or not um Moff Gideon was going to show up, or we were trying to figure out like what happened since the last episode. And so we come to this part where there's like, you know, laughing and like ooh, they're playing these characters that are so over the top. And I'm like, you think of like a character like if you think of even Moff Gideon in a scene with these guys, it would be kind of weird, right? Like these guys are, I can't believe they're in the same world. I can't believe they're in the same world. So that's kind of the part that I'm having the most problem with too is the tone. I think it'd be okay to have them there. They were fun and it was a break, but I think you have your break like in episode 3 or in episode 2. I think this isn't where you would episode 6 is not the place where you would put this if you're only doing 8 episodes. And if you're only doing 8 episodes, you really should be putting the most important things in the season. That's what I was expecting. But yeah, like when people say like only 8 episodes of The Mandalorian, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be juicy because they're gonna just put everything in and condense it. And yeah, I didn't expect for so much fluff is, a lot of fluff. Um, and I think if you're a kid, you're gonna love all this stuff. Like kids like all this like stuff, but even once they grow up, they'll be like, well, it was entertaining, but it just didn't make any sense. And Dad's Den of Pop Culture says writing always seems to be the weak point these days. Yeah, and I think that's because there's meddling. Because it's like if you are a person who writes a fantastic script, um, and the studio says, "Well, script is great, but I have this pen I need you to add into the script because we're selling these, and we want you to, we have toys that we need to sell. So put this in the script." And we have, all these kinds of weird things. Oh, we're doing a movie, and you need to squeeze this character in there because they're going to show up in the movie. It gets to be a little confusing, and then you have Disney where they're kind of like trying to maximize and exploit this whole Mandoverse, as they called it. And I get it because that's what we want them to do. We want them to exploit this universe. But if you're not going to give or honor the characters, if you're not going to honor the characters in these projects and value also the time of the people who are watching. This is where you get angry customers, as you will, or people who are like, there are a lot of people who walked away from anything to do with Disney Star Wars, after this season. And I really, um, I can't blame them, but it's uh, they're not giving you the premium um, content that you really want, and we're hoping that they were going to be able to do when they bought the property from Lucas, George Lucas. So it this is very interesting to me. It's fascinating to me. Dad's Den of Pop Culture says it's like they're writing to fill time rather than having a story they want to tell. Yeah. And I would, if you edited out every unnecessary thing in this entire series, you'd probably come up with about an hour and 45 minutes worth of content. And that's terrible. You probably, oh, let's just say maybe 2 hours. Maybe two, let's give it 2 hours. Um, I think it doesn't quite feel like I feel like I wasted a lot of time, and I think a lot of people felt that way too. Um, some of it was enjoyable and some of it was not. And it was nice when you watch something and it's good. I love it when I watch something that's good. I like to watch it over again. And the thing that's really kind of interesting about this scene in particular, I was saying, there are ways to write this well. Okay, so you have these characters that are over the top and they're putting on these airs, like, I hope you like Sebastians or whatever. Right? Ooh. And so you have these characters that are doing this, and then they can take the Mandalorian and Bo-Katan on the side and say, guys, we're just putting on a show for the people of the court. We're in real trouble. That changes the story for you. You're like, oh, these guys are actually putting on a show for the court, and they're concerned about like actual people getting hurt in their on their planet. I mean, it raises the stakes a little bit. It makes you like care about them a little bit more, right? These are people in a predicament. And so writing them like goofy, lovebirds doesn't make them endearing, does not make them endearing. They have to be smart, like characters need to be smart too. And uh, you have to write them smart so people can feel as if, yeah, if I were in that situation, I would do the same thing too. They become relatable. So that was the key element there. The characters being written in a very strange way. And Keith East says maybe the writers ran out of gas themselves. Yeah, I mean, it just feels. I think it feels like if I could, it just from sensing the what the script was like, just feels like there was somebody who wrote the big ideas, all the big ideas that were brilliant, and then there was somebody who was filling in the blanks, and those blanks were just like they copied and pasted from like Saturday morning cartoons, and it was just like, wow, this is not working. Um, and I think the one that was the most, I would say, well written was one of the ones that was really the worst waste of time you could ever imagine, which was the Pershing episode. It was written well, but it was also, um, unfortunately, a huge waste of time. Could totally take that out of the series and it wouldn't matter at all. Sean Ennis says Disney seems desperate to use the show. Yeah, The Mandalorian to launch a bunch of spin-off series to the determine to the detriment of the Mandalorian, kind of killing the golden goose, so to speak. They are, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's really awful to see. Excuse me. I have allergies and they are attacking me like crazy right now. Yes, and so it's been very interesting to see that they're doing this, and of course, setting up things for other seasons, other projects, other movies, and not really caring about what's going on in season three. And it's quite sad to see it. Give me one moment. My goodness, I just had a crazy attack. The allergies, they came for me. Yes, and so it's been really, Sean, and as you hit the nail on the head. And I hate, there's a lot of this that I admire. A lot of the effects, they're doing it better than ever. They're learning how to create like just about anything that they can imagine, which is great. But the story has to be there with it. Characters need to be there with it. Bo-Katan is a great character with a lot of good structure built in. And it's a lot of the structure that's built in is built in from on other projects. So for some people, they're seeing this character that just showed up out of nowhere. They don't know the backstory of Bo-Katan. But to get her to speak more in this season, to tell us how she's feeling, would have been really like a key moment. Oh, by the way, Katie Sackhoff did an interview with Christian Harloff, and she said that one of the scenes, which I thought, wow, that's not really, this is their opportunity to save more, and they didn't. The scene where she is asking both factions, that she says, I need volunteers from both tribes of Mandalorians to go on Mandalore. And she said that that was a much longer scene, and she had a lot to say there. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what that scene needed. It needed more context and more depth. This was a moment to really rouse the crowd, rouse the audience, rouse, even the actors, like get us to feel more like this is actually, I mean, uh, I don't understand this. Like, why did they take that out? And I think there's something to be said about the pacing. The pacing of this thing was fast. So maybe they just didn't want the pacing to slow down too much. Sometimes you need the pacing to slow down, right? Sometimes you need the pacing to slow down. And let's see what else. Sean says in that episode, they were so eager to give cameos to people, they seemed to needlessly expand on really minor characters. I've got nothing against cameos, but when they upset the balance, yes, upset the balance. That's exactly it. Upset the balance. And Brogu said, do you think Moff Gideon is really dead? That could have been a clone, or his suit could have saved him. You know, I I've said this many times that I think it, it looked like a clone. Uh and there's a possibility that one of the clones could have escaped the vat, especially the one that opened its eyes. Right? The other ones wouldn't be conscious, but the one that opened its eyes would be conscious when everything uh when they were supposedly destroyed. So it's possible that we could see Moff Gideon again, but I really hope we don't. And also, if we see a clone of Moff Gideon, the clone might not be evil. Um, right? It might not carry his personal traits at that point. So it's a very interesting question, and I actually hope that they don't bring him back, because the storyline is so messy right now, so messy. I would like for it to just be gone, like the dark saber, just Get rid of all of that and let's just get back to basics, please. And Woodrow is here. Hi, Woodrow. How are you? Woodrow says 3 seasons in, and we don't even know Din's Mandalorian. How Din's Mandalorians make babies only in Star Wars. Well, we probably won't ever know that, but there are a lot of questions about Grogu and Din I would love to know. And this was another missed opportunity. We got a little bit more explanation about Grogu, the rescue of Grogu from Order 66. But we did not get uh, any more from that, like where he was, what happened to him, um, and just really was a missed opportunity to go deeper into Grogu's past. Since we're sticking to this whole story of Grogu being part of Din's life, why don't we like fully like fledge this story out? Another thing with Din, what a his father figure. Who was that? That would have been really cool to throw in um, a little detail about his upbringing as a foundling and an apprentice, what they went through, the things that they had to go through, and does that have any effect on him today? Like, what is how is that going to affect Grogu? Like, how will he be? Will he be any different, or will it be the same? It's just more character development and growth for Din, which we got very little of, and we should have gotten some. We should have gotten some. I don't want the excuse of like we don't see his face because something to do with Pedro Pascal. We don't need to see his face to hear a story or to see a back uh a flashback or something. We don't need to see his face. We need him to talk to the characters. We need the characters to talk to each other. Just like the Rockets, like a simple line or two would have fixed that glaring plot hole. Uh, they needed some more tender, loving care in the writing department to smooth out all the edges. A nice script doctor to come in and clean up some of the rough edges that just were just left um, to kind of put a bad stamp on the season. And Dad's Den of Pop Culture says Disney might be streaming itself into oblivion. They might, but you know what? I think people will watch. They are making so much money. It's ridiculous. That's why they're making more movies is because even though the sequels were not up to snuff for a lot of people, they're still making more money because they made a lot of money off those movies. And Sean Anna says, "Bless you, RNG. I'm sneezing a lot too. I rarely sneeze at all. Yeah, the spring is in the air, and it's going for it." Dad's Den of Pop Culture says, "Spring is beautiful. Allergies are not." Yes, and Sean Ennis says, "Well, they may trot out Moff Gideon's clones if you read the Dune books. Duncan, Idaho is cloned over 1,000 years for yes, it was pretty interesting story. Maybe they will try an SW version of that. That would not suck. That would not suck. I do like the Duncan, Idaho plot line in the Dune books. I mean, I hope they really get a chance to explore that in future Dune projects. Uh, and I hope that Jason Momoa will be around to will be okay with all of the reuse of his characters because it's a lot. It's a lot. And Latino Slant is here. Polly, there was a writing department. Oh, that's pretty. You know when people get punched in the stomach, they're like, "Ugh." That was a bit. That's true. I don't know if there was one, but there was somebody wrote some that I can just see it. There somebody wrote the structure of how things are gonna go, and it's like, okay, that's great. And then the person who wrote it in between, they didn't care. Um, or maybe they're not experienced enough, but they it doesn't look like they cared. Um, and they weren't looks like no one was watching. Like it just it's too much, it's too much. And John, and it says I've read some of the books, and the whole Jedi clone thing has been explored. It's just not confirmed canon yet. That's interesting to me, and also like Grogu's parents or like we're still it's season 3. We still have no clue where this poor child's come from, um, and it's a what a lost opportunity to really make this interesting and make it count. Let's see, and I may have one more picture. Do I have another one? Um, all right, yeah, and Bo-Katan being in the center of the thing. Look, I love that character. I really do. Um, I don't think she was given an justice um in this rendition either, because there just wasn't a true connection, a connective tissue for her to be like her and Din being together is sort of like what it still blows my mind. I'm like, why are they hanging out with each other? I don't know. I just don't know. And so, I mean, honestly, after she got, her home got blown up, she could have just taken her vehicle and went to go find her, axe wolves and the rest of the crew. I don't know why she decided to just hang out with Din. Incredible. Incredible. We never know why she decides that, which it would have been a great idea. Like for us to find out why she decided that she was gonna hang out with these guys. So yeah, it's really kind of sad and a missed opportunity. But I actually had fun with the season. If I was gonna give this a score, it would be a 6. They did everything that they could visually to make it look as good as possible. The technical aspect of just creating whatever you want, they did that. Um, there were a few cool surprises. The battles were cool. I love the pew pew, and but a lot, as far as the writing goes, just I think the bigger ideas are great. I think the smaller bits that actually like make the story work did not work. Um, um, that's really, I mean, I usually give a lot higher. I almost feel like I should give it like a 6.8 maybe, because I truly did enjoy the last 2 episodes. I enjoyed episode 7 because it was for the first time I actually felt some tension. My hands were cold and sweaty. I was like, are they going to make it? I There was also the spy element, where I was kind of wondering, okay, who's the spy? Who's the spy? That was kind of a little bit of fun, even though they didn't really earn that because they wrote the title was completely. misrepresentative of what actually happened. So it was a little bit of trickery. Part of me is a little upset about that, but I will give the episode the fact that, like, at the end, I was not sure who who was the bad guy. Now that's how you're supposed to, like, feel during, like, episode 3 or episode 2. You're like, okay, who's, you're starting to speculate and, trying to figure this secret out, this mystery. And so it just was like, we got our bad guy in episode 7. Like, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. So there wasn't really a lot of tension. Yeah, just, I could go on for a long time about this. This is really super, super disappointing. And but I did, like I said, I did have fun with it because I'm the kind of person who likes to have fun with stuff. Guilty pleasures are always a good time for me. So in many ways, this is one of those things that had great potential, but unfortunately had several problems, visible problems that you could see really hindered you know, what the greatness it was hoping to achieve. One thing I did like about this is I like the way it ended. Because the way it ended was reasonable. It was a reasonable ending, and literally they could have started the season there, instead of like the last picture is of Din and Grogu together. And let's see if I don't really have that picture, but I have this picture, Din and Grogu together. That's pretty much how this season could have started, and we would be none the wiser. Like, we'd be like, oh yeah, this is the true season 3. So my hopes is that season 4, it will somebody will take some notes and say, hey, we gotta write the rest of the season out. We get the outline, but let's, like, write the rest of the season with some care, and make sure that characters feel like characters that people can identify with and can relate to. Have your characters actually speak to each other. Your main character, uh, and also, I mean, there's all this dialogue for characters that didn't matter, that weren't even part of this whole thing. And it's like, why are you giving all the dialogue? Give it to Bo-Katan and Din, please, please, please give them some dialogue. I want to see them talk to each other. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And Grogu says they didn't even show Din and Grogu say goodbye to Bo-Katan after everything they've been through. Like, everyone is saying, sloppy writing. Yeah, just goodbye. No one's talking about a romantic tryst or anything. And just like, hey, we spent a day together, or maybe a year together. You can't tell how long they were hanging out together, but we spent some time together. We bonded. We united our people. We won against the bad guys. Now it's time to say goodbye. At least a little something. A little something. Um, and so yeah, that's just um, yep, that's pretty much Danny Staten is like, yep. Is pretty much it. And so yeah, that's all I have to say about season 3. It's a shame. But maybe season 4 will be better. Let's cross our fingers. And as far as Star Wars content, I do like live action, and I really hope that they will make season 4 a great season. It looks like they're gonna make it more like the Galaxy Rangers or something like that. So Rangers of the New Republic, they're gonna kind of squeeze the ideas for that series that they were gonna do with Gina Carano and have Din and Grogu go through that with Carson Teva and the New Republic. So that could be interesting. Adventures in the Outer Rim. This could be fun. This could be fun. Now let's see what else did I have. Oh, wow. Great picture of Pedro Pascal. And too bad we don't get to see his face anymore, but it's fine. I think it's fine that we don't see his face. It's not about the actor, but it's about the character, right? It's about the character. What is right for the character? So, well, guys, I saw this movie on Netflix. It's A Tourist Guide to Love. And yeah, it's really, how can I put this? It's a sort of like a Hallmark movie in a way, which is cute. I like myself a good Hallmark movie, but it was let me break it down for you. It's about a young lady who is a travel agent, and what she is doing is that she goes to, oh well, she has this boyfriend that breaks up with her, um and I'm really paraphrasing all of the things that happen, but she ends up going to Vietnam, and she meets this guy there who's has a family, is part of a family business, and is like the main tour guide, and he becomes kind of her love interest. They have, chemistry, and what really is the thing is that since she's a travel agent or travel agent, she has a list of all the things that she wants to do, and he's like trying to get her to not do those things and do some fun things that will surprise her in strange ways. And um, we have the conflict, and but she is there on a mission to buy the company that he is working for, which is a family owned company, but she can't tell him that she's a travel agent. So of course, by the middle there's this like whole thing where he finds out that she's a travel agent, and then they don't speak, and then they, the romance thing that they do. And it does follow the formulaic thing, but what it does, I thought really was interesting, is that it explores Vietnam. And I wasn't aware of anything to do actually with Vietnam. Like, for a lot of people, they connect it to the war, and think that the place must be like small villages and lots of farmers, and they really show you around this, beautiful country. It's wonderful. And so it definitely is a travel commercial, right? A travel commercial, if you will, or tourist commercial to get people to go to Vietnam, and to, kind of get rid of uh, some ideas that you may have about what it might be like there, and give it a chance and travel to Vietnam. So I liked it. It was cute, and definitely not a deep piece of work, but it was okay. Let me see if I can get the name of the actress um, that plays this, because she is, let me see, kind of famous, right? Well, we should know her from something else. Her name is Rachel Lee Cook, and we would know her from She's All That. She's actually really good in this. I mean, and the her, the guy who's playing opposite her is really good. So it's cute. It's adorable. Um, this is one of the stills from where she's like kind of walking through the countryside, and this wonderful ancient ruins is there. It looks so beautiful. But guys, look at this. I caught this one, guys. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Hi, Alex Dawson. How are you? Happy Wednesday. How's everything going? And Dad's Den of Pop Culture says she was on Psych for a few episodes. Oh, really? Yeah, some I'm trying to expand myself and learn about only things that I've been missing all of these years. Been stuck in the past, retro nerd girl. It's more than just a name. And yeah, I didn't know that she was on Psych. Okay. Yeah, she's a really good actress, and I'm so glad that she's doing something out there. Hallmark and Netflix, they they do get a bad rap for, not really having like the, blockbuster, success. But I think it's kind of cute. It's cute entertainment if you are into any of that stuff. It's also kind of corny too, so I kind of like it. But guys, speaking of just a little bit corny, but fun, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Once Always, the movie that just came out on Netflix. And I managed to catch this, and it was so much fun. It really was. I wrote some notes. Um, so let me go back. For me, Power Rangers was not really my thing. Uh, I was more into Voltron. So when Power Rangers came, I was like, "What's this? They're they're copying off of Voltron. That's they can't do that." And so I avoided it for a while, but I would manage to catch a few episodes here and there, and I always loved the theme song. You can't get away from just that theme song is just so much fun. And so yes, Dad said in pop culture says, Hail Voltron. Yes, I love myself some Voltron. Let's see. Sean Ennis says Rachel Lee Cook also did that short-lived series Perception. I liked it, but the ring again really fell apart. The writing again really fell apart, partly because they weren't doing well in the ratings and shifted to even worse ideas. Ooh, they were trying to were they trying to surprise the audience? And a lot of times, a lot of yeah, a lot of times they're trying a lot of uh series they'll try to surprise the audience, and then it's like, no thanks. Writing, yes, I got you. I got you. Yeah, it's really interesting, the Power Rangers. And so I really enjoyed um this movie because, after I actually got into Power Rangers like maybe about a decade ago. Oh, wow, very late. I was like, I don't know, for some reason I started watching it and I was like, oh, okay, this is actually cool. I've been missing this all my life. And so I kept taking a look at um, different Power Ranger sets or seasons, if you will, and just enjoying it, just enjoying the costumes. It's like, why, this is all great fun. It's right up my alley, and it's been years now, so we've got a new movie. This movie um, is really harkening back to the original team. Uh, and I don't know all of the names of everyone, but I do know a lot of them. And we got, I believe her name is Kimberly, was the original Pink Ranger. She didn't want to be in the movie. And she's like, she was really simple about it. Just like, I just don't want to be in the movie. So she was not in the movie. Um, Jason, the Green Ranger, unfortunately, he passed this year. Um, and very tragic. And he passed while well, I think while this was in production, or believe they were already done or whatever, but he already made plans not to be in this movie. And Trini, that is one of the Yellow Ranger, uh died many years ago. I believe it was a car accident, I'm not quite sure. But she died tragically many years ago. So this movie actually has the characters that all these guys played in the in this movie, which is really kind of interesting. They were very clever about um, putting them in, but also writing them out of the storyline, so they could be off screen, and that worked. That really worked. So the only character that they did not uh, that they had to, of course, get kill originally was the character of Trini, because they wanted to kind of have it be her daughter, whose name is Min, come and kind of have a main piece of the storyline. I thought that was really good. I mean, put some really intense um, moments. Intensity, it had intensity, it had a threat, um, and it was pretty interesting. I mean, one of the first scenes, I mean, one of the Power Rangers gets blown up. Really crazy. So the reason why all of this is happening is because Rita is back. But it's not just Rita. Rita, they for some reason they killed Rita, or well, they yeah, they they killed Rita, the Power Rangers, and Zardon, who uh, uh, who was kind of their guide, uh, sacrificed himself so that Rita could, or yeah, he sacrificed himself. So for some reason, Billy, who is the Blue Ranger, decided that, hey, look, he's a tech wizard. He's just, maybe I can figure out a way that we could bring Zardon back. It failed, and instead he brought back Rita, um, and Rita did not have a body, so she went into the robot's body and used that. So now she's in a robot form, but still just as evil as always, and is wreaking havoc on the Power Rangers. So the Power Rangers that have returned is Zach, and I believe his name is Zach and Billy. Zach and Billy. And Trina's daughter, Min, has been adopted by Zach. And there's a lot of um, character development, actually. What I'm talking about, really strangely, they actually wrote these characters well. It may be corny, it may be silly. I'm sorry if you're hearing loud noises. It's Wednesday, and I don't know, some wild things happen around here. I hope it's not making too much noise. Um, but I'm right next to a train station, and so it's doing what it wants. Uh, um, and yeah, it was very interesting because I was like, these characters are talking to each other like they're having interactions, and I'm like, oh wow, that's reasonable. Oh, that makes sense. It just felt natural. I mean, there is a lot of goofy things in there. Like there's a flying car. The characters are all out, like over the top. The bad guys are like, silly. Um, but it all really like feels good. Min, the character, um, Trini's daughter, is definitely a well-written character. Okay, let me tell you what happens to her. She wants to be like her mother, the Yellow Ranger, and she tries to transform into the Yellow Ranger, but it doesn't work because there are some lessons that they're trying to teach you in the storyline. There's like this storyline actually has lessons, life lessons. One of them is um the path to being a hero is a selfless one, and it requires self-sacrifice. Isn't that interesting? Um, and so it's teaching this girl how to be a hero. Initially, the reason why she wants to become a ranger is to get revenge, right? Because Rita killed her mother. And this is like really kind of awesome the way they kind of made this character fail, succeed, fail. You could see she's like really good at martial arts, but she's not, she doesn't get there right away. Like every time she tries to morph, it doesn't work. And it's like it's perfect. It's like that's how you write a character. It's like you don't write a character being to be perfect. You gotta fail, you know? And one of the things that would have been kind of cool, and just going back to the Mandalorian really quickly, it would have been really cool if Din saved Bo-Katan just once. Just one time at least. That would have been kind of cool. Um, just saying, it just creates a different dynamic um, to be saved by somebody. And so, like, the fact that Min wants to is after revenge, she can't transform. And Zach says something really interesting to her. He says this: only monsters seek revenge. Wow. I mean, it's really pretty cool. Like it's like it's the simplest thing. It's written just like the TV show. This not like, and they didn't go overboard on special effects. They didn't make fancy new costumes. They didn't do, you know, they didn't reboot everything. They just worked with what they had and they created a story. I love this kind of ingenuity. This is how you do it. Yeah, absolutely. Big thumbs up from me. A lot of fun. If you've got like an hour and a few minutes to kill, go ahead and watch it. It's silly, it's cute. If you're a Power Rangers fan, you know what I'm talking about. It's really a lot of fun. And let's see. Um, Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Just a surprise twist should never be a surprise to the writers. Yeah. Yeah. And Kyle P says, Retro Nerd Girl, you're the best. Oh, thank you, Kyle. I hope you're having like an awesome day. And Dad's Den of Pop Culture. That sounds like the kind of story and simple wisdom that was very common in the past. Yeah, it is like old school, but also there's something very at least it's doing something. I mean, instead of writing, I mean, she is a little annoying, the character, but not too badly. You understand that she is um she's upset her mother died, and she's like they just show you how she's like desperately trying to get revenge. And how it just doesn't work. Um and yeah, I did like it a lot. And like I'm the kind of person, I know it's really weird. I really like, those after school specials where they were like, um they had those little things that they would tell people at the end of the story, to kind of summate the episode, and tell people, people shouldn't steal. And you're like, I always like those things, but it doesn't, if we could get it to be more modern, that would be awesome. Like I wish somebody would figure out a way to make it more modern, but also not make it sound like a public service announcement, you know. And let's see what else is going on. Um, I think I'm done. Oh, guys, okay, so this one I did not see. If Oh yeah, there's there they are. The Power Rangers, Zach. Now I don't know who these two are. That's because I didn't get to see um those um Power Rangers, but I do remember Zach and Billy. And uh yeah, that is it was a lot of fun seeing this. And Kyle P says, I love after school specials. The film the film The Pit from 1981 feels a bit like an after school special gone horribly wrong. I've never seen The Pit. Oh, I'll have to write that down. The Pit. Where's my pen? The Pit, 1981. Thanks for having the date for me too. Um, And let's see. Wow, 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 wow. Uh, and a little poet boy says, Grandpa Rangers. They're not too bad. I mean, but they're uh, they're more like Dad Rangers. I'm a Power Ranger buff. Grew up with the show. Oh, really? um, and you have Rocky the Red Ranger. Okay, this is Rocky. And you know this lady here? Oh, yeah, you say Cat the Pink Ranger. Okay. Um, and oh, that's right. Jay says I always get here right before the end. Well, that's cool. At least you showed up. At least you arrived. And little poet boy says they came during the Power Ranger Zeo days. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember those guys. I did see some of the other ones too, some of the other Power Rangers. Um, but I never remembered their names. I watched the shows though. I remember Diva Talks. She was cool. Alex Dawson says, "Retro, have you ever seen the Flamingo Kid?" Yeah, like the one in the 70s, I think so. But it's been like forever. And John Ennis says, "LOL, just looked up the Pit 1981. It sounds like it's darkly hilarious." Oh, okay. I will have to check that out. Let's see. Oh yeah, so this is the whole gang back in the day. Yeah, poor Jason and yeah, it is one of those things. A lot of people were like not available, or two of them have passed on, and definitely Kimberly is. She's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with. She's like, people were like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I just don't want to do it." Yeah, I mean, every time there's some new thing, doesn't mean that you got to jump to do it, but the fans always want um all of the Rangers to do everything. Um and the Power Rangers Zeo, Power Ranger Turbo, um with is that the one with Diva Talks? Power Rangers in Space. I saw that one. And the Ower Rangers Lost Galaxy, Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, and that was the end of the Saban era of Power Rangers. Everything changed after that. Oh, okay. Thank you, Lil Poet Boy. All the information about the Power Rangers. Um, there's a guy named Donnie Pearson who was a big um, uh, Power Rangers fan, and sometimes he comes by. Now that's right, Jay says. I remember my friend hiding his love for Power Rangers and said it was his little brother. I think I was in high school when this show was released. Yeah, I think I was in high school too. Ooh, long time ago. And yeah, it's a cute show. It was very especially the title sequence. It was very cool. Oh, one thing that about this movie is that in the series right now, like Power Rangers, boo boo, whatever, boo boo. And then they would be in like a chamber, and then they would switch on like their costumes. Well, this one, it's like 2 seconds. They don't even go into all of that. They're just like, they switch, and then all of a sudden they're like, shh. So there's no like changing. Well, they change, but they don't change in the typical way. It's much shorter. Which I was waiting for. I was like, listening for the music, like "Go Go Power Rangers," and then while they change, it's like all the music, and you know what it is, and I was talking about this before, the repetitive fashion of doing something that you're expecting to happen. So that was the only thing I was looking for, and they didn't deliver. And Brogu says the actors are telling the director, "I can't jump that high anymore, Sonny." Probably. Yeah. Little Poet Boy says the only link to those original series was Power Rangers Dino Thunder, which the former green white White Ranger lead team set 15 years after those original series. Okay. And that's right. Jay says, no Sailor Moon transformations, but how do you pack the runtime? Well, these guys know. Let me tell you that it's trimmed. It must have been like an hour and like 15 minutes. It wasn't really even that long. Um, let me check real quick. Um, Power Rangers. Once and always. Um, mm, where's IMDb? It's only 55 minutes. My gosh. What? It's only 55 minutes, guys. It's not even an hour. It's really tight. It's really so they don't pack it with anything. They don't pack it with anything. And let me just check. Walter Jones. Um, yeah, they don't pack it with anything. And Walter Jones got the top billing. Yeah. And they have one, two, three, four, five. Oh, okay. Actually, one, two, three, four, five writers. Can you believe that? They had five writers. Wow. They had five writers for this. 55 minutes. Wow. Oh, Mark D with a C. How are you? How are you doing? Oh my goodness. Good morning. Let's see. It may be already afternoon where you are. Let's see. Little poet boy says, like I said, I am an old fart, so I was there. So so I was their debut. Okay. I don't, well, Kyle P says, I was a bigger fan of that theme song guitar solo than the show itself. It's so gnarly. Yeah, I really like that theme. Definitely. That I did like the theme more than the show, but I did like the show too. It's like, but it didn't stick with me because I was older and it didn't stick with me as much as like Voltron did. Um, I guess this Blue Beetle movie excites us old Power Ranger fans since the trailer seems to give up that Power Rangers vibe. Does it? Does it? I mean, it has like a suit that does stuff, but I didn't really feel that, I guess, because there's so many superhero movies. But I guess so. I guess so. There is like a little bit of a vibe, I guess. Um, see see how important stock footage is. Yes, that's right, Jay. That's right. Jay says that's 10 minutes per writer, right? Isn't that right? Like five writers, and it's 55 minutes. Wow. Mark D with the C says new movie was more like a TV episode, but it was well done. I'm guessing most Power Rangers fans would be happy. Yeah, honestly, it had the basics of a story that needed to be there. Like, there was tension. Uh, I mean, how much tension are you gonna have in a Power Rangers movie? But there was tension, and it was people died. Uh, there was a few cool quotes in the whole thing. Um, the the character had to learn stuff and grow and look past her vengeance and do have a selfless act. I mean, to the point where she's being really rude in the beginning, and then at the end, they're all one big family. And I like that. I like that. I like that. I like a happy ending. I like a happy ending, and I like the journey to get there. Like, and they did that in 55 minutes. And it felt like, just like you said, Mark, it felt like the TV show, like it was one episode, and they did good. They did good. Did good job. Yeah, if you're a Power Rangers fan, it's gonna be great. If you like, you're kind of a fan, but not like, weren't like dedicated to every episode. You're gonna enjoy it too because it's just like a walk down memory lane. Um, and there's Rita in her robot body, which I thought was very. She was so close to getting there. It was, it was great. I had fun with it. It was good. 55 minutes, not bad. All right, guys. This is Attack of the Doc. I didn't get to see it, but it is on Amazon and I believe Vimeo and some other places. This is the new documentary that Chris Gore has. It's actually released, so it's available. It's about this show. Um, that was I never saw this show, but it was a G4 TV, and I believe it was called Attack of the Show. Olivia Munn was on it, and she did a lot of funny things. A lot of people did some pretty funny things on the show, and and there's Chris Gore. And I'm gonna actually see it hopefully next week. I will be able to tell you how it is, my thoughts on it, give it a good review. Um, and we'll see how that works out. Yeah, so let's see, what did you guys say? Um, Sorry, I'm like constantly sneezing here because my nose and the allergies are going nuts. Okay, Brogu says that means the Mandalorian had 1.5 right. Probably, like I told you, like one person wrote the main big stuff. You can feel it, like areas where it's like, oh, great idea, awesome, awesome, and then everything in between is just like a little poet boy says Blue Beetle, alien technology that gives users a super suit with physical abilities, fighting aliens with swords from outer space, and computer AI companion. Pretty much Power Rangers in my eyes. Okay, sounds like it. I was not aware of Blue Beetle's power set. And that's right, Jay says. So it's Jamie Blue Beetle then. Who's Jamie? And little boy says Gore. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this. It looks really interesting. Except Olivia Munn was smoking and funny. Yeah, I mean, gorgeous, 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 and was like pretty much um down for anything for the show. And Olivia is okay. I prefer her with glasses. And Mark D with a C says, Attack of the Show was awesome. In some way, almost like a YouTube show on steroids. Watched it almost every day. Oh, really? Okay. This is so cool. Okay, because see, I missed out on Attack of the Show, but I did see some clips of it on YouTube. Um, and Chris has been talking about it for like for a while now, and so I can't wait to finally get to see it. And Kyle B says, funny because honestly, the only reviews I watch anymore are Retro Nerd Girl, Chris Gore, and RLM. Oh my God, my go-to. Wow, I am honored. uh, Really? That is, I'm gonna be blushing all day. Thank you, Kyle. You're just made my day because I love myself some Red Letter Media reviews, and Chris Gore is just amazing. I love his takes on stuff, even when I don't agree with the stuff that he says. He has a way of saying it that makes it really fun. And yeah, he's a great guy, and I can't wait to see this documentary he's put together with some of his friends, and to see what it's gonna be all about. That's gonna be great. Oh, guys, and also SnyderCon is coming. So yeah, SnyderCon is like this big thing. Zack Snyder is having his own kind of convention over the weekend. It's gonna be, I think, 28th, 29th, 30th, and he's going to screen his movies and have a Q&A afterwards. And I want to see, there's going to be a lot of content on the internet, and I want to see if, kind of assess all of it and kind of put it down into a little assessment for you guys on Monday. I'm sorry, on next Wednesday. Monday. Monday, I need to be, I'll be still assessing. And look at this. Oh my God. Unicorn Rampant Studio. Thank you so much. $10 super chat. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Great Wednesday morning stream. Uh, Thorough critique. Uh, Al Halogen attacks, travel romance, Mighty Morphin character development. Yes, and a whole bunch of emojis that I love. Thank you. Um, I get super chats and emojis. Oh my goodness, my best day ever. All right, let me see what I have. I have a special thank you for you, Unicorn Rampant Studio. Oh my God, the whole time that's playing, I'm like doing the the nod from Saturday Night Live. The let's see. All right, Brogu says Attack of the Show was great. I know you would have loved it, Retro Nerd Girl. And yeah, oh yeah, it's it looks like a mix of like MTV, what MTV used to do, and like just some fun, like off the cuff stuff, lots of laughs. Uh, can't wait, can't wait to see. I wonder if there's a way to see old episodes somewhere, like a Blu-ray somewhere. A little poet boy says, "To be fair, my name is Jamie in real life." Oh, oh, that makes. Let's go back and see what you said. Oh, got it, got it, got it, got it. And that's right, Jay says. Blue Beetle is a DC superhero whose superpowers come from a super suit and he's super. That's and the most recent BB is a kid, Jamie Reyes, with an alien tech suit. The two previous BBs invented their own suits. Guys, oh my God, thank you. I didn't even know that. You're just filling me in on all this information. Um, because Blue Beetle is just one of those movies that I was just like, "Ooh, that looks that looks good." I just didn't like know what the character was. And the trailer didn't really fill me in on a whole lot. So, and that's right, Jay says I'm an old fart and a Ted Cord Blue Beetle fan. Oh, you're not an old fart. Unicorn Rampant Studios it says, "Oh, LOL, trying to be efficient while I'm on the mend." Oh, you're so sweet. Well, yes. How are you feeling though? Let me know in the chat if you're feeling. It seems like you're doing well. Let me know how you're feeling. Brogu says, you can see old episodes on YouTube. Okay, I am going to look for them tonight before I see the movie. Yes, before I see the documentary. That should be fun. Okay, that's right. Jay says, I'm very happy DC is starting to give attention to their lesser known properties instead of depending on Batman and Superman. That should be interesting. Yeah, I, I don't know much about those smaller properties. So I do it all. Do it all. The smaller properties, the larger ones, do it all. As long as they're good, um, right? I think the right now the public wants really good stuff that maybe they could be surprised with. So it's just right now we're kind of going through this like we've already seen a lot of superhero movies. So it's not so much like superhero fatigue, but we're just kind of like, show us something new, tell us a new kind of story. People want something different. So that's what people are craving, something different. And it's really hard to write something different and also a studio to back you up financially to put that out. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully we'll get more characters and more unique things come out for both of DC and Marvel. I'm looking forward to it all. If it's a good film, I mean, it's a good film. Kyle P says I have to run, but great stream. I really hope to see the pit. Hope I really hope to see a pit review. LOL. Such a weird movie. Have a great day. It might be a while. I have got a long list already, just to be honest with you, but I do want to see what the pit is all about. And Unicorn Rampant Studio says the pain has reduced and I feel better um, a week into things. However, I will have months of rehab. Oh no, on my shoulder. So just readjusting what I can accomplish. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, my thoughts are with you, and yeah, And Unicorn Rampant Studio says, I have my first follow up in a couple of hours. I'll know more about my shoulder. Okay. Yes, we'll be rooting for great news, and yeah, and a speedy recovery. It man, it's really I have stuff to say. This is I'm thinking in my head about what you told us last time, and you said um, that they had paved over the street, and yeah, you. I hope you're able to um, get someone to cover your medical expenses, because that is definitely um, insane. Anyway, I'm speechless. Sorry. I get so. And look, the Mark D says, D with a C says, good luck, Unicorn Rampant Studio. And Unicorn Rampant Studio says, unicorns are very positive as a species. You're so sweet. Always with the positivity. He's a very sweet person you are. And Sean says, good luck, Unicorn. I recently recovered from a shoulder back injury. Oh, wow. Lots of support for you in the chat, Unicorn Rampant Studio. Um, yes, we care about you. And Unicorn Rampant said, thanks for your kindness, everyone. Yes, lots of positivity coming back at you. Um, and yeah, it's just um, we're hoping for the very best. So I think that covers it, guys. I don't want to take too much. Look at this. Oh, this is so sweet. That's right. Jay says positive affirmations in your direction. Unicorn Rampant Studio. Isn't that great? Just so wonderful. Get well and all that jazz. That's so sweet. And Sean says, also 10 years ago, recovered from a frozen shoulder. Really? Wow. That's intense. I'm sorry. My brain, I started like, I'm like, wow. Yeah, no, I've had a few moments when my shoulders, the shoulder is very, uh, very delicate place. And Sean, and it says, LOL, my right shoulder has been through some. Oh, yeah, really. Oh. Well, we need to send some great vibes your way to protect that shoulder at all costs. Yes. Well, guys, yes, I think I had a great time talking to you guys about the movies I saw and wrapping up the Mandalorian. So many thoughts going on about the Mandalorian. And I think it's because I like the series that I'm just kind of like baffled by what happened. And so I think everybody wants to talk about it because it was doing so good. It had so much potential. Anyway, yes, it is time for me to go. My throat is not doing good. The allergies are coming for me. They are coming for me right now. So I will see you guys uh Friday. Friday we have a continuation of cartoons of our childhood, and it will be part 3. Then on Saturday we'll have a watch party. that will be Krull. Yes, Krull. Krull is going to be our movie on Saturday. So I let's see what Sean says. I'm good with the shoulder now. Yes, yes, absolutely. And all right. Well, before we get into the buys, okay, so we're starting the goodbyes and stuff. So I am going to get out of here and let you guys continue your day with joy, peace, happiness, safety, and throwing a dash of fun. Have some fun today, guys, too. And we will definitely convene again next week for the rest that Donnie Pearson. I was just talking about you, Donnie Pearson. Oh my, where did you go? Oh, Donnie Pearson. I was just talking about. Guess what? I just saw the movie Power Rangers. Okay, you got to go back, and I think I mentioned you. Oh my goodness. Do watch that because it's gonna be it's you're gonna love it. All right. So okay. Well, yes, without further ado, guys, I wish you and I bid you adieu. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Retro Nerd Girl, you are clear for takeoff.